Jake, where'd you get those boots?
But he's got meat between his ears.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Nation of Jake on The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Yes, have some. Welcome to it, the Nation of Jake on The Voice.
Yes, have some.
FM 107.9 AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com. The Listen Live link, if you'd like to listen live, is in the top right corner. If you want to watch the show live, you can do that on YouTube Live. The Nation of Jake channel, very easy to find on the YouTube, whether you're using the app or the desktop website, youtube.com, and search for Nation of Jake. Nation of Jake, and let that be the last search you do. One word, Nation of Jake, because if you subscribe to the channel and you sign up for the notifications, you will always be clued in, i.e. notified of when the show goes live Monday through Friday from 1 to 3 right here on The Voice. Or you can watch it on demand. All you got to do is just subscribe to the channel and you can watch that on your own time because it stays there forever, or at least until I decide to take it down. So YouTube, Nation of Jake. Follow along on Facebook and on the Twitter at Nation of Jake as well on this Thursday, September 5th, year of our Lord 2019. Mostly sunny, 87 degrees, high of 89, and I'll take it. Not too hot. 89 is about right. If you're doing stuff outside, if you're like me, you go to the playground with your kids a lot after school, take them out for play on the soccer field, whatever, and we'll have some soccer update from last night's game. I know all of you guys are just waiting and waiting for the update on my kids' soccer games. All right, so I will deliver those. But also on the program today, I got more thoughts on Shelby County Mayor Leah Harris's proposal to expand MATA by taxing people who don't use it. There's a lot of that going on lately, not just here in Memphis, in the Memphis metro area, but everywhere. Tax people in order to control their behavior. This fee, sustainability fee proposed by the mayor to pay for MATA, would essentially charge people $145 for any cars they have over 2. You will have a 2-car limit or else pay a fee on any car that you register over 2. So your third car, $145. Maybe your fourth car, $145. A trailer, you have a camper, $145 for that one. And then also, let's say you run a business and you're running some crews, 15, 20 trucks, 30 trucks. What if you're FedEx and you're going to have to pay a sustainability fee on all your vehicles? You might think twice before you expand your operation or continue to operate within Shelby County. I'm just saying. But it's not just here in Shelby County. It's everywhere. Last night, there was a 7-hour climate change town hall in which 10 Democrats who were running for president pretty much disqualified themselves from being president in 2020. But it was on CNN, so nobody saw it. So a lot of people are not clued in to the bat nuts crazy stuff that they were saying last night, and this went on for 7 hours. And pretty much every proposal was to ban something, or tax it or ban it, because the government, whether it's here in Shelby County or the federal government in Washington, D.C., they know how you should live your life better than you yourself know how you should live your life. Always takes me back to the Gipper, Reagan, who said, if none of us has the ability to govern ourselves, who among us has the ability to govern someone else? That is pretty much the only quote you need and the only principle you need when people in the Shelby County government, the federal government, the city government, wherever, state government, are trying to tell you how to live your life. That's going to be a theme today. All right, 7 hours. And the stuff that they want to ban. Cars, burgers, straws, pretty much everything. The solution to saving the world is to ban everything. Let's just return to straw huts and drinking out of rivers and creeks. That's pretty much the answer. It's coming up in a few minutes. I've got the audio from it of all the things they want to ban in 2020 in the interest of saving the world. Saving the world from what? From humans? Why do they hate humans so much? We'll dig into that in a few minutes. Interesting response to that Dave Chappelle special. Dave Chappelle, the great comedian, Chappelle Show, he did Half-Baked, went away for a while, and then he comes back with all these Netflix stand-up specials, and they're all really good. The latest one, though, is really interesting because it has a lot of people on tilt. A lot of people were triggered by what Dave Chappelle did in his latest Netflix special, Sticks and Stones. A great divide between the critics and the fans. Very interesting to look at the numbers on Rotten Tomatoes or other review aggregators out there. We'll also talk to Ron Hart, the great nationally syndicated columnist. He's from right here in Memphis. He was at the Memphis game on Saturday, Memphis versus Ole Miss. I didn't get to catch up with him, but he's got some thoughts on college football as a nice diversion from all things 2020 and Trump and Biden and Elizabeth Warren. People are finally just kind of they're being distracted by the circus that is college football. And Ron Hart's got some good thoughts on the opening week of college football, plus the news cruise. So, tons of stuff to get to today. I hope we can get to all of it. Dorian is overstaying his welcome. Hurricane Dorian is the party guest you were hoping would not show up. You were warned about him. You're like, yeah, Dorian's coming, and Dorian's a lot to take. Dorian's a Cat 5. All right, so you prepare yourself for Dorian, and the first thing Dorian does is comes over to your house and smashes your coffee table and then pees on your couch. You're like, oh my God, Dorian is a disaster. And then people say, look, he's going to calm down. He'll sober up a little bit. He'll be fine. And then you figure, okay, Dorian can stick around just for a little while longer. We'll give him a second chance. And then Dorian settles down. We're like, okay, he's calm for now. Let's see how the rest of the night goes. Then a couple hours later, Dorian just did shots of fireball, and now he's swinging from your chandelier. And you're like, oh no, he's back. It's a Category 3 Dorian now. Oh, good Lord. So Dorian just needs to leave. We've been covering this hurricane for a week now, and not to minimize any of the serious damage that Dorian did to the Bahamas, because they said 70% of the Bahamas was underwater, and there are people dead and missing. The death toll of the Bahamas is 20, and that is expected to rise as they survey the damage in the Bahamas. And we've got a lot of people here from the States and other countries providing support and aid to the Bahamas as well. We should. But Dorian is now strengthened again. Yeah, they've said, okay, it's going to be a Category 2. It's just going to nick Florida and the coast of Georgia and then hit the Carolinas on Thursday. Well, it's in the Carolinas now, re-energized as a Category 3. Here we have a reinvigorated Hurricane Dorian roared toward the Carolinas on Thursday, bringing tropical storm conditions along the South Carolina coast and flooding in Charleston, along with the threat of tornadoes across the region. Good Lord, Dorian goes from Cat 5, smashes the Bahamas, psychs you out thinking, okay, we're going to avert disaster over on the East Coast, and then all of a sudden it starts shooting tornadoes out of it. It's like a hurricane-tornado hybrid. It sometimes brings tornado conditions, and tornadoes arise out of hurricanes. So that's what they're seeing in Charleston. The National Hurricane Center said as of 10 a.m. this morning, Dorian is a Category 3 storm, maximum sustained winds at 115 miles per hour, which is no joke. Dorian was located 65 miles southeast of Charleston, South Carolina, and 165 miles south-southwest of Wilmington, North Carolina. Rain bands from Dorian were now producing tornadoes across northeastern South Carolina and southeastern North Carolina. That is difficult to wrap your mind around. Northeastern South Carolina and southeastern North Carolina. It's just kind of like a reciprocal deal. As of early Thursday, South Carolina Emergency Management Division said utilities were reporting more than 200,000 power outages statewide. Duke Energy, in a news release Wednesday, said it expected the storm to cause 700,000 outages in the Carolinas and that it brought in resources from 23 states and Canada to help with respond to any of the damage that's going on. So the Category 3 storm Now in the Carolinas, as they predicted, it's hitting the Outer Banks. In the South Carolina, you're going to see flooding. You're going to see all kinds of damage. But there have been plenty of time to get the hell out of there. All right, so look, if you're one of those folks who lives in a hurricane affected area or somewhere that could be affected by hurricanes and that you've been told would be affected by hurricanes, getting out is the main deal. Shore up what you can, board up the windows, and then just head west. Get away from the coast. Because what I hate seeing are people who were warned and who are stranded on their roofs because they just didn't get up and out. I mean, catch a bus. Just go west. Go to a Best Western. Get out of there, as they said you should do. Evacuate. That said, I'm glad there's no direct hit. We're not talking about a Cat 5 storm smashing into Charlotte, North Carolina, or a major city on the coast. So that's where Dorian is now, and it's just kind of hanging out. Slow-moving, brutal storm. I will report here now that Alabama remains unaffected. Okay? This has got to be the weirdest thing in the world. Not only are people trying to blame Donald Trump for the hurricane, they're all poised waiting to criticize his response to the hurricane. Leave it to Donald Trump to keep alive this absurd feud about Alabama being in the path of Hurricane Dorian. Okay? Leave it to this guy. All right, he erroneously tweeted that Dorian would affect Alabama. He said that, it's going to be South Carolina and Georgia, and he included Alabama in there. Maybe he thought it was going to touch Alabama. Maybe he got bad info. But somebody called him out on it and says, actually, Alabama will not be affected by Hurricane Dorian, instead of saying, oh, my bad, I got bad info, my bad. Which, honestly, something like that will just go away. As far as Donald Trump goes, it might take a little bit longer for it to go away. But if you make a mistake like that, my bad. Easy. So easy. Just to say my bad. Or, oh, I was wrong on that. Oh, I was mistaken. Thank you for the correction. I want people to have all the right info. My bad. That's it. 2 little words. My bad. Instead, Donald Trump keeps doubling and tripling down on this Alabama thing. President Trump on Thursday doubled down on his claim that Hurricane Dorian's path had threatened Alabama, despite weather officials pushing back, and then he accuses the media coverage meant to demean him. In the early days of the hurricane, when it was predicted that Dorian would go through Miami or West Palm Beach, even before it reached the Bahamas, certain models strongly suggested that Alabama and Georgia would be hit as it made its way through Florida into the Gulf, Trump tweeted this morning. Instead, it turned north and went up the coast, where it continues now. In the one model through Florida, the great state of Alabama would have been hit or grazed. In the path it took, no. He continued, read my full FEMA statement. What I said was accurate, all fake news in order to demean me. He followed up by tweeting, Alabama was going to be hit or grazed, and then Dorian took a different path up and along the East Coast. The fake news knows this very well. That's why they're the fake news. The president's tweet follows media scrutiny over his claims, first made over the weekend. The issue popped up again Wednesday when the president held up a map of the Oval Office showing the cone of uncertainty over areas the storm could hit. The map seemed to include a section of Alabama and Florida circled with a black marker. So he had taken the path, the hurricane path, which it looks like a thought balloon or something. It just it's like, yeah, this is where it's going. This is what it could affect. And he essentially extended it with what appears to be a marker. So now this thing's taken on its own life on Twitter called Sharpie Gate. After President Donald Trump showed a map of Hurricane Dorian's projected path that was seemingly altered with a Sharpie pen to include the state of Alabama, Donald Trump is finding himself at the center of a novel scandal among social media users touted Sharpie Gate. In the White House video released Wednesday, Trump points to a weather chart showing states that could potentially be at the forefront of damage in what the National Hurricane Center calls the cone of uncertainty. However, many observed that a curve line had been added to the cone, showing that Dorian would move from Florida to Alabama, despite being factually incorrect. I guess we've got a video now of the president explaining himself. He won't let it go.
We thought we'd give you a update.
U.S. President Donald Trump was swept into a Twitter storm on Wednesday after a press briefing in the Oval Office where he displayed a dated and altered forecast map of Hurricane Dorian's potential.
I'm not going to go through this whole news report. That said, just you got to take the L. Sometimes you got to take the L. Oh, my bad. I was mistaken. And sure, again, if you're Donald Trump, people probably won't let it go that easily. But to prolong it and to keep going and turn it into a Sharpie gate, I mean, this is odd, to say the least. Sometimes you just got to know when to take the L. And that's what it's turned into. Serious storm. People in the Bahamas devastated. Now it's an online Twitter meme, the whole Sharpie gate, because Donald Trump just cannot be wrong. It's seriously, it's like watching me when I was in my early 20s. Could not be wrong. No. I didn't learn the my bad thing until much later. It's my bad. Oh, my bad. Did I say that? Sorry. And just move on to the next thing, because there are many, many other things. In fact, 7 hours of a climate change town hall. That was last night. You want to blame Donald Trump for climate change and for hurricanes and whatnot. What better time to have a 7-hour town hall than last night on CNN? 10 presidential candidates each got up, and for 7 hours, they talked about how they would solve the problem of climate change, which include pretty much banning everything. I'll tell you what all these candidates want to ban, and we'll do it next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, stop. Don't do anything until you talk to my man, James Underwood. James Underwood has been helping people like you navigate the Mid-South real estate market for more than a decade. So whether you're looking to buy your first home or you want to upgrade to your forever home, James Underwood can help make it happen. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just a rock-solid guy that I've known for 25 years. So now, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, hit up James Underwood with CryLike. JamesUnderwood.crylike.com. That's JamesUnderwood.crylike.com.
KWAM The Voice is proud to turn our spotlight on Millington all this week. Millington is located along U.S. Highway 51 in North Shelby County, 25 minutes from Memphis. Around 1878, plantation owners Mr. and Mrs. George Millington donated their land, and Millington was incorporated in 1903. Babe Howard was a very important part of Millington's history. Babe was the president and general manager of Millington Telephone Company, built the U.S. Stadium, and founded the International Goat Days Festival. Millington, a community with just the right balance of yesterday and today. Spotlight on Millington is brought to you by these great businesses.
Homer Skelton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Millington has huge deals going on right now. Just a bunch of normal guys in the car business changing lives 4 tires at a time. Ritter Communications, offering the latest in communication innovations for your home and business. Proud to be part of the Millington community. Call them today at 888-336-4466.
The 30th Annual International Goat Days Family Festival is happening September 6th and 7th in Millington. Enjoy the Antique Tractor Show and Parade, KCBS-sanctioned championship barbecue contest, Old West Special Trails Rodeo, car show, arts and crafts, live music, great food and fun, and much, much more, including goat yoga and our famous goat parades. Presented by the City of Millington in association with Homer Skelton Ford, Republic Services, Ritter Communications, Homer Skelton Chrysler Dodge Jeep of Millington, and Carrie's Body Shop. It's Goat Days, September 6th and 7th at USA Stadium in Millington.
Looking for a cool way to get a new home comfort system without breaking the bank? The Advantage program from Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning gets you a high-quality home comfort system for one low monthly rate. There's no money down, never a charge for repairs, and seasonal tune-ups are free. Right now, get a new home comfort system as low as $99 a month and no additional charges ever. Call Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning today at 866-EXPERTS or visit ServiceExpertsMemphis.com.
For expert service guaranteed, call 866-EXPERTS.
See website for license details.
Design Jewelers in Bartlett is renowned for being the best in custom jewelry since 1988. But did you know they also do jewelry repair? That's right. If you need size fixing, ring setting, stone tightening, chain or watch repair, stop by Design Jewelers at 3135 Kirby Witten Parkway. Their combination of expertise and customer service cannot be found anywhere else. That's Design Jewelers in Bartlett, 3135 Kirby Witten Parkway.
All right, welcome back to it.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on the Voice, FM 107.9 AM 990. So last night on CNN, I had forgotten about this. I had forgotten this was happening, but it happened. It had happened for a long time last night on CNN. I followed along on the Twitter because there's no way I'm watching a 7-hour town hall meeting about climate change. Imagine that. Imagine sitting there for 3 hours, even 3 hours, having candidates talk your ear off about the same subject. All right? 3 hours. Imagine a 3-hour town hall on climate change. And at the end of the 3 hours, they make an announcement. Oh, there's 4 more hours to go, everyone. 4 more hours. Do you care about anything? So much you would sit there for 7 hours and listen to people talk about it? Especially something like climate change, which is consistently at the bottom of what people are worried about. And again, I'm not somebody who denies that man has an impact on the climate. I'm somebody who wants to focus on the big stuff, clean water, clean air. Let's make sure we don't pollute. Let's be good stewards of the planet. But I'm going to stop short of the whole population bomb, Paul Ehrlich kind of doom and gloom. We only have 12 years left on the planet if we don't do something now. We need to ban hamburgers and all farting cows and all cars today or we're doomed. I stopped short of that because that's crazy talk, but that's all it was for 7 hours. Now, there was talk about this 7-hour climate change town hall on CNN a few weeks ago in the Democratic National Committee. They did not want it to happen. They did not want those candidates to take part in a 7-hour town hall on climate change because then you would have 7 hours of Democrats saying insane things that will be used against them. That will be used against them later. The Trump campaign, I guarantee you right now, has a little video guy, a video editor. He's sitting in an edit bay right now with all 7 hours of this nonsense, and he's cutting it up, and he's showing you all the insane stuff that these 2020 candidates want to do. And it includes pretty much banning everything. All right, so just a quick rundown, just so you know. Every 2020 Democrat got up there last night, and for 7 hours, in order to save the planet and prevent more climate change, they came up with this. They want to take away red meat. They want to have guidelines on what you should eat and does not include red meat. Burgers? Nope. Steaks? Nope. Ground beef? Nope. Taco Bell? Nope. You get nothing. No red meat for you. Been eating red meat since the dawn of time. As great Dennis Leary said, not eating meat is a choice. Eating meat is an instinct. They also want to ban your gas-powered vehicle. Yeah. Joe Biden, the most moderate of them all, right? The most electable. Joe Biden, he said we need to get gas-powered vehicles off the road as soon as possible. That's why we take away your vehicle, take away your car. Not just tax it. They just want to tax more than 2 cars like Lee Harris does, Mayor of Shelby County. They want to take it away. They want to make it illegal for you to have a gas-powered vehicle. The only kind of vehicles that actually work or that are affordable are gas-powered vehicles. 99.9999999% of the vehicles on the road are powered by gasoline. And they don't want those anymore. Nope. Talking about mandatory car buybacks. Not only that, they want to force you to drive electric cars. Electric cars are very expensive. Remember the whole cash for clunkers deal? Yeah, sell us your car. We'll give you a credit towards buying like a Chevy Volt. They don't even make Chevy Volts anymore. They're too expensive, and they were garbage. The only viable electric car out there is the Tesla. And the Tesla's way too expensive. 45 grand for a Tesla. That's like the most affordable model. 45 grand. I've never paid that much for a vehicle, and I never would. They want to tax you for spewing carbon. And that's right, the carbon taxes. Yeah, you guys are just little carbon machines. We're made of this stuff. Don't trees breathe in carbon? I know that's an oversimplification. Trees breathe in the carbon. They make the oxygen. They breathe out. We breathe in what they breathe out. It's a symbiotic relationship we have. But yeah, demonize carbon, tax carbon, carbon. It's the building block of humanity. Oh, they need to ban the plastic straws. Oh, this one, man. Banning plastic straws is the worst idea. It's the most overblown garbage proposal in the world. There was a viral video of a turtle who got a plastic straw stuck in his nose, and it was heartbreaking. So then we have to ban plastic straws. That's right, we just ban plastic straws. Oh, forget the fact that people have metal allergies and can't always use a metal straw, a stainless steel straw, which I've got some. I use them sometimes. But some people cannot do it. Paper straws are garbage. They do not work. Plastic straws are really valuable for people with disabilities who can't sip out of a cup. So who can't hold drinks. Plastic straws actually save lives. The only other thing I've got on the straws deal is Twizzlers. If you want to bite off the ends of a Twizzler and use it as a straw, it works okay for a while. But then if you can't handle that much sugar, you don't want diabetes, you're going to open up a whole new host of problems. This is where it gets really crazy. They want to provide abortions as a means of population control. All right, this is Bernie Sanders talking. He wants to provide abortions to people in third world countries to control the population. That is evil. That is nonsense. Bernie Sanders essentially wants to kill little brown babies in order to control the population of the earth. Again, the whole population bomb, all the predictions made by all these really smart climate scientists and whatnot back in the 70s, like Paul Ehrlich, the population bomb, all that stuff. Nonsense. All of it. In fact, look, that's just kind of a rundown and overview, and I'm not even exaggerating. Here are your 2020 Democratic presidential candidates, and they're calling to ban everything. Here we go.
Would you support changing the dietary guidelines?
Yes.
The food pyramid. What people
yes.
To reduce red meat specifically.
Yes, I would.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should. Yes.
So would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes.
Just today, the Trump administration announced plans to overturn requirements on energy-saving light bulbs. Would you reinstate those requirements as president?
If you can get electricity from a light bulb that utilizes 1/10 of the power that an old incandescent light bulb used, of course you're going to do that.
We have to take combustion engine vehicles off the road as rapidly as we can.
Educating everyone on the need to curb population growth seems a reasonable campaign to enact. Would you be courageous enough to discuss this issue and make it a key feature of a plan to address climate catastrophe?
Well, Martha, the answer is yes. I think especially in poor countries around the world, where women do not necessarily want to have large numbers of babies, and where they can have the opportunity through birth control to control the number of kids they have, something I very, very strongly support.
Let's talk about offshore drilling for a
Good Lord.
Would you ban it?
Yes.
Would you ban offshore drilling? Absolutely yes. We will transition off of fossil fuels, natural gas, coal, oil. What about the export of fossil?
At what cost? That was Cory Booker. We're gonna transition off all these tried and true methods of fuel. All the things that we actually use that actually work and are affordable, we're to transition off them. I believe we will eventually, but it won't be because President Cory Booker signs an executive order. All right, it's going to be because the market and the technology are going to come together and make it worth our while. Not only for the climate, but also cost-wise. Also, people have to live. We have to live here. And it just brings me to this broader question. Why do all these people hate humans so much? They view humans as a scourge on Mother Earth. What else? What else does the Earth serve but humans? Seriously. Yeah, it's a little bit human-centric of me. I get it. I'm not talking about just Americans. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about, aren't we here to use the Earth to live our best lives? Yeah, responsibly. I get it. I get it. We shouldn't live in excess and do all those things and destroy the Earth for the fun of it. But there are going to be things that we do. Like we've used wood. We cut down trees. We emit carbon as humans. I mean, everything that they're talking about is to make your existence on Earth miserable. That's what they want to do. They want you to pay more for everything or do without stuff. We go on. This is like only 2/3 of the way through. They want to ban fracking, hydrofracturing. That's why we're producing more oil than places like Russia. That's why we're not dependent on the foreign oil as much as we were. That's why gas prices aren't out of control. But they're like, no, natural gas, fracking's bad, nuclear energy is bad, everything's bad, it's got to be all renewable. Well, that's not even a reality yet. The wind power and solar power, that's not even reality yet. It'll get there. You're not going to get it there, though. And by signing executive orders that people can't use plastic straws or can't eat hamburgers or can't use the kind of light bulbs they want, it's not going to bring it about any faster. What you're going to do is you're going to make people's lives harder. That's all you're going to do. Go on, Cory Booker.
Fuels from the United States, would you ban that?
Absolutely, we must get to that point.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
I'm in favor of a carbon-free America.
In my administration, we're not going to build any new nuclear power plants.
We should set out the rules for what kind of plant, coal burning plants. No one's going to build another coal burning. We've got to shut the ones down we have.
You got to shut down the coal industry. Joe Biden wants to shut down the coal industry. Yeah, go in to Pennsylvania, Joe, and go in with that as your platform, your campaign platform. They've all gone on record right now, and I guarantee you, videos just like this, like supercuts of all the stuff that Democrats want to ban. Think about it. They are willing, at the point of a gun, to take away red meat, your light bulbs, your cars, your guns. That is the definition of overreach. That's all they want to do. They want to control your life because they think that they know better, that they can govern you. You're too stupid to govern yourself. You're a toothless, nomadic weirdo roaming the countryside. You don't know where you are. You need them to save you from yourself. That should scare you. That should scare the holy hell out of you. But there's too many people. A lot of you, maybe. I don't know all of you. A lot of you, you're like, yeah, I'm on board. I can vote for Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren thinks she knows better for you than you. It's not right. It's gross. It's gross. And you know what? I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like the way he acts. I don't like the fact he can't admit he's wrong. I don't like his tweeting. I don't like the volatile stock market. I don't like the trade war with China. There's a lot of stuff I don't like. But I'm voting that guy over any of these creepy weirdos who think they know how to best live your life for you. Good God. Abortion as population control to avoid climate catastrophe. Look, if it's 12 years away, bend over and kiss your ass goodbye. You're not saving it. But it's not 12 years away. They've been saying that forever. Forever. All right, coming up next, I'm calling shenanigans on this Rotten Tomatoes review of the Dave Chappelle special. I finished it up last night. It was fantastic, but it's got some low ratings from the critics. I wonder why. Let's talk about that next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
CBS News Update. Hurricane Dorian has been kicking up trouble along the Carolina coast with wind, rain, and storm surge. Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses have lost power. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster.
The storm is hitting, as I mentioned, Georgetown,
and Horry counties hard, and the mandatory evacuation orders and everything else, schools and so forth, remain in effect.
CBS's Jamie Yucas says the threat of storm surge is now over in Charleston, but the wind and rain are still major factors.
We've had in some places around Charleston, I'm told by the National Weather Service, about 7 inches of rain so far. It is still raining right now, so we're going to watch and see how that impacts the area as those high tides do come in, but luckily not with the storm surge as was feared.
Florida, which was spared the worst effects of Dorian, now moving to ship some of its stores of emergency supplies, including water, to the Bahamas. CBS News Update. I'm Jim Chenevey.
When's the last time you looked at the windows in your house? Not through the windows, but at the windows. Really looked at them. There's dirt, streaks, buildup, smudges, fingerprints, paw prints, spider webs, dead bugs, those little white speckles. I have no idea what they are, and who knows what else. Now, cleaning all the windows in your house makes a big difference, but it's also a big job. That's why you need Just Windows Home Services. Just Windows has been taking the pain out of window cleaning since 1992. Just Windows cleans all types of windows, storm windows, screens, skylights, interior, exterior, upstairs and down. Now, I know I told you the company is called Just Windows Home Services, but they do a lot more. Roof and gutter cleaning, pressure washing, mirrors, blinds, ceiling fans, light fixtures, chandeliers. Look, if you've got hard to reach areas of the house, then you need Just Windows Home Services. Call for a free estimate, 751-3934. That's 751-3934, or get them online at justwindowsmemphis.com. That's justwindowsmemphis.com.
Design Jewelers in Bartlett is renowned for being the best in custom jewelry since 1988. But did you know they also do jewelry repair? That's right. If you need size fixing, ring setting, stone tightening, chain or watch repair, stop by Design Jewelers at 3135 Kirby-Whitten Parkway. Their combination of expertise and customer service cannot be found anywhere else. That's Design Jewelers in Bartlett, 3135 Kirby-Whitten Parkway.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
This is Clark Howard. I have told you before that people are paying the most for new vehicles we've ever paid in American history. A big run-up just in the last 2 years, what people are paying for a vehicle. And as a result, in order to be able to, quote-unquote, afford that vehicle, people are stretching out their loans ultra long. Well, as a result, now the number of people that are delinquent on vehicle loans is skyrocketing. Because if things get tough in your life, you can't just bail out of the vehicle because you're way upside down in that vehicle. The best answer, once you work your way out from something like that, drive that vehicle year after year after year once you finally finish wheezing on that vehicle loan. Build some space in your life where you're not making a monthly payment on a vehicle. The average vehicle in the United States now nearly 12 years old. Why? Because they're so much more reliable than they used to be.
The backyard's looking great, Rob.
Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors?
Why don't you just ask Home Advisor?
Home what?
HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job.
Nice. Now, how much does it cost?
Oh, Home Advisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free.
What's the website again?
HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free Home Advisor app.
Home Advisor. Hey, I'm Hall of Fame catcher Johnny Bench. I used to hit dingers and throw lasers when I was a Major League Baseball player. Now I do yard work, raise my boys, and get the occasional 18 holes in, but I still have to deal with that Hall of Fame pain. I use Blue Emu pain relief products. The Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis or Continuous Spray are easy to use. I just spray or rub it on. No stinging or burning. Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink. Available at nationwide retailers.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990. Online, KWAMTheVoice.com. Streaming live on YouTube, the channel Nation of Jake. Run it all together, one word, Nation of Jake, there on YouTube. And Facebook and Twitter as well, at Nation of Jake. Last night, I was on the Netflix, and I realized I had not completed the Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones stand-up special. Now, this one, Dave Chappelle has been doing these stand-up specials on Netflix for a while now. They've come out every few months. But the one that came out last week got a lot of buzz early. People were tweeting about it. There were all these reviews that were saying, oh, you can skip it. You can skip it. Don't even watch it. It's bad. It's terrible. These were all the critics. This was like Vice.com. Wall Street Journal, they wrote something, said, oh, Dave Chappelle's not edgy anymore. Dave Chappelle is stuck in the 80s with his comedy. Because the N-word, Dave Chappelle throws that around a lot. That's why I can't play any clips from the special, because he throws around MF and the N-word a lot. He can do it. He gets away with it because Dave Chappelle does not care. Dave Chappelle has enough fans, and he's been so prolific and so brilliant over his career, and not just going back to Half-Baked, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm not even a pothead. I'm not a stoner at all. That movie is hilarious. He also had Chappelle Show on Comedy Central for a number of years. The guy is hilarious. He is on par with the Richard Pryors and the early Eddie Murphys. He just kind of functions on a different level. He's brilliant. So he doesn't care. He doesn't care what all these critics are saying. But as I'm going through and I'm reading about this comedy special from Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones, I see a pretty clear divide between the critics and what people are writing about it, and then what people were saying. What people were, like the people. And we see this all too often. You know, there's a divide between what the media reports and what the people actually think and feel. You know, so we're kind of seeing it really just vividly, the divide. So just as an illustration, and this is online somewhere, it's a graphic. You know, Rotten Tomatoes, that's the big movie review website. And what they have is they've got a fresh score, certified fresh by Rotten Tomatoes, and they've got a critical score, you know, from movie critics, film critics, comedy critics, TV critics, whatever, and they've got an audience score. Usually, they line up. You know, 3-star movie, it gets 3 stars, or it gets a 70% fresh, and then the audience score is around 65. Or if it's something that the audience really loves, but it's just not critically acclaimed, there are some disparities in those numbers. All right, but the Dave Chappelle special, this is amazing. The Dave Chappelle special is 29% critic rating, which is no good on Rotten Tomatoes, right? 29% of critics out of 7 critiques, 7 reviews, rate it 29%. It's no good, man. It's below 50. 29% is a failing score no matter what, unless you're playing baseball. Unless your batting average is great, right? 290. But 29%. And then the audience rating out of 1,700 audience reviews is 99%. So 99% of 1,700 reviews are A-okay. This is great. It's got a 99. That's an A, no matter how you slice it. 99% A+ rating with the audience, with the people. So the people love the Dave Chappelle comedy special, and he tackles all kinds of stuff. The cancel culture, talks about guns and gun control, and abortion, and the opioid crisis, and the Me Too stuff, and the LGBT stuff. And he goes after it in such a way that resonates with a lot of people. Clearly, they thought it was funny, and it's comedy, right? But because he is critical of a lot of this stuff, he's critical of the pro-abortion crowd, he's critical of the opioid crisis, he's got some great takes in it too. I mean, unique, good, hard truths that sometimes only a comedian can bring you. And the critics hated it. it didn't line up with their politics. Dave Chappelle's a free thinker. He's not going to toe any lines, whether it's a Democrat line or it's racial lines. He crosses those lines. And that's why he's so valuable as a comedian and as a social commentary. That's what comedy is. A lot of it's been heavy. It's stuff that Richard Pryor was doing back in the day. Guys like George Carlin, Bill Hicks, they're important. So just to illustrate how goofy this is. All right, we've also got a review here from Knock Down the House, which was a Netflix-produced documentary on the 2018 midterm elections, the one where AOC got elected. AOC, prominently featured in Knock Down the House. It gets a 100% critic rating of 83 reviews. 100% of critics said this thing is great. You got to see it. Go over to the audience rating. People like you who are watching, you know what it got rated? 35%. 1,322 reviews, and it got 35%. So the people don't like it. Critics love it. Why? Because it was highly biased propaganda piece on AOC and her ilk. Because it lines up with their politics. So how can you ever trust anything from Rotten Tomatoes again unless it's the audience score? You got to go with A, more reviews, B, they're people like you. I mean, they're a better cross-section of people like you. And I don't know what's going on with Netflix. They gave Barack Obama that big deal. First thing Barack and Michelle Obama do with their Netflix production company is they make a documentary about a factory that goes out of business. Oh, yeah, great. It's a real pick-me-up. That's what I want to watch at the end of the day. I mean, if you look at what people are watching on Netflix, they're watching The Office and they're watching Friends. They're not going there to be depressed about a factory that closed down. That happens every day. Oh, but no, it's happening in Trump's America, right? So yeah, it's just pretty eye-opening when you look at what the critics who are above. What do you know? You're not a critic. You got to be a critic in order to understand what you're watching. And so these people want to tell you, oh, don't laugh at Dave Chappelle's joke. You don't understand what you're watching. All right, coming up, got more thoughts on this whole MATA deal. Fee in order to fund MATA if you drive more than 2 cars or register more than 2 cars. But coming up, I want to give you a very quick rundown of last night's soccer game. My kid got to play with the A-team last night. I'll tell you how that went next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
KWAM, The Voice, is proud to turn our spotlight on Millington all this week. Millington is located along U.S. Highway 51 in North Shelby County, 25 minutes from Memphis. Around 1878, plantation owners Mr. and Mrs. George Millington donated their land and Millington was incorporated in 1903. Babe Howard was a very important part of Millington's history. Babe was the president and general manager of Millington Telephone Company, built the U.S. Stadium, and founded the International Goat Days Festival. Millington, a community with just the right balance of yesterday and today. Spotlight on Millington is brought to you by these great businesses.
Roland Tire and Automotive is proud to be a part of the Millington family and are celebrating 54 years of serving Millington and the entire Shelby County area. 4998 Navy Road in Millington. The Millington Chamber of Commerce reminds you to shop local and be loyal to your community. See what's happening in Millington at millingtonchamber.com.
When's the last time you looked at the windows in your house? Not through the windows, but at the windows. Really looked at them. There's dirt, streaks, buildups, smudges, fingerprints, paw prints, spider webs, dead bugs. There's little white speckles. I have no idea what they are, and who knows what else. Now, cleaning all the windows in your house makes a big difference, but it's also a big job. That's why you need Just Windows Home Services. Just Windows has been taking the pain out of window cleaning since 1992. Just Windows cleans all types of windows, storm windows, screens, skylights, interior, exterior, upstairs and down. Now, I know I told you the company is called Just Windows Home Services, but they do a lot more. Roof and gutter cleaning, pressure washing, mirrors, blinds, ceiling fans, light fixtures, chandeliers. Look, if you've got hard to reach areas of the house, then you need Just Windows Home Services. Call for a free estimate, 751-3934. That's 751-3934, or get them online at justwindowsmemphis.com. That's justwindowsmemphis.com.
If you're in need of a professional cleaning service that takes your business as seriously as you do, call Jan Pro Cleaning Systems today. They understand how important it is to establish and maintain a professional image. That's why they offer the Jan Pro Signature Clean and the Jan Pro Guarantee. From regular scheduled cleaning to the tough stuff like stripping and waxing, buffing, carpet extractions, and detail cleaning, Jan Pro does it all. Call today for a free no-obligation quote. 901-683-4900. Insured and bonded for your protection. Jan Pro Cleaning Systems. Measurable cleaning, guaranteed results.
Hey, are you ready for your new baby?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the ABCs of infant safe sleep?
No, what's that?
Babies should sleep alone, on their back, and in their own crib.
Wow, I didn't know that. Thanks.
For more information regarding infant safe sleep, contact the Shelby County Health Department at 901-222-9000 or log on to shelbytnhealth.com. Funding for this was provided by Tennessee Department of Health.
Since 1950, the Millington Area Chamber of Commerce has helped businesses grow and prosper. You're invited to join fellow business associates and help support the economic development of Millington and take advantage of the many benefits available to you through your membership, such as networking, ribbon cuttings, seminars, and workshops. Join the Millington Chamber today. It's good business. Visit millingtonchamber.com or call 901-872-1486 today. Did you know that your potential customers look at your website and determine your credibility within 8 seconds? Make sure your business reflects the quality service you provide. Contact Control Alt Design for a free quote today. Today's marketplace is very competitive and you need a professional web presence. Control Alt Design offers web design at a fraction of what the larger firms charge. Control Alt Design has been helping local businesses stand out on the web for over 20 years. They also offer logo design, business card design, flyers, brochures, and more. See their work today at ControlAltDesign.com.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on the Voice, FM 107.9 AM 990. All right, so as you probably know, if you listen to the program, I'm a soccer dad now. Yeah, I got my older daughter, 7-year-old, playing competitive soccer. So this will be our third night in a row of soccer. On Tuesday night, it was practice. Last night, my daughter was invited to play with the A team. They call it the black team, the more competitive of the two teams with the 2011 girls. And so she was excited and she was nervous. It's her first year of competitive ball, so instead of playing bunch ball, they actually have positions. And I was explaining to her the importance of staying in your position, but she's just resisting that, saying, no, I want to score goals, right? I want to score goals. I'm like, yeah, I get it. And the goals will come, but you need to learn how to play your position and play on a team. Well, man, it was late in the first half, and a ball crosses over right in front of my daughter who was playing her position. I'm like, oh, do it. God, oh, go. She just barely missed it, almost scored that goal. But what she couldn't get over was that she didn't. She said, well, I didn't score it, Daddy. I almost scored it, but almost isn't scoring a goal. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Hand grenades and horseshoes with almost, and I got you. It was close, though. I said, but you know why you were close? She said, why? I was like, because you were playing your position. So it was a lesson well learned, I thought. The team still got beaten pretty bad. 7-3, the final score, a loss for the 2011 Lady Legends. However, it wasn't because of my kid, okay? That other team had some pretty big kids who were really good. They lost 7-3, but it wasn't because of my kid. So I can hang my hat on that. So there you have it. We learned something, and my kid didn't embarrass me or herself or bring shame on the family. So I consider it a 7-3 win in favor of the good guys. All right, more thoughts on MATA coming up right here in the Nation of Jake.
This is the Voice KWAM Memphis. The latest news stories are here. This is KWAM Memphis.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Real news, real reporting.
I'm Jim Sheneby. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster has given his state an update on Hurricane Dorian, which continues to move north toward the North Carolina coast.
Still a very dangerous storm. As you know, it's impossible to predict exactly where it's going to go and what's going to happen.
I'm Jim Crisul in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. As rain continues to fall and more customers lose electricity, Hurricane Dorian continues its slow trek up the coast of the Carolinas. Tornadoes spawned by the storm have caused damage in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and in Emerald Isle, North Carolina, south of Morehead City. A couple of hours south of here, there's been significant flooding at low-lying downtown Charleston.
Landfall not expected now in South Carolina, but could still happen in the Outer Banks. The death toll from Dorian in the Bahamas is up to 23 today, and it's expected to go much higher as search, rescue, and recovery operations continue.
I'm Peter King. Royal Caribbean says its Empress of the Seas is delivering generators, food, water, medical supplies, and more to the Bahamas. The plan to anchor off the coast of Grand Bahama Island before taking cruise passengers to Nassau. A Norwegian Cruise Line ship, the Breakaway, sails with more supplies from Miami today. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Carnival, and Disney all have resort islands in the Bahamas. They're largely undamaged. All four companies have pledged at least $1 million each for relief efforts. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
The president losing another top advisor as Jason Greenblatt, one of the men in charge of his Middle East peace efforts, is leaving the administration. CBS's Paula Reed.
The official explanation for his departure is that he wants to return to New Jersey, where his wife and 6 children have remained while he's been serving here in the administration. He was originally brought to the White House for about 2 years to work on analyzing the Israeli-Palestinian peace deal that the president has wanted to put forward, the so-called ultimate deal. And for the past 2 years, Mr. Greenblatt has worked closely with the president's son-in-law and senior advisor Jared Kushner on this deal.
Now, Greenblatt never actually took part in any negotiations on Middle East peace because the Palestinians had cut off ties with the administration after the president recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Wall Street's in rally mode today, headed toward its best close in some 3 months, mostly on news related to China. CBS's Jason Brooks.
Stocks cruised higher after Beijing announced that China's lead negotiator Liu He chatted on the phone this week with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer, setting up a meeting next month in Washington.
On Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 419 points, the Nasdaq up 142, and the S&P 500 up 41. This is CBS News.
The CBS World News Roundup Late Edition with Jim Chenovy.
President Trump held a series of meetings today on the border wall.
Every weeknight on the CBS Radio Network.
With the stock market at all-time highs, cash in your profits now and invest in an asset that can potentially pay for up to 20 or more years. That's the sound of a producing oil well and the sound of a smart investment. If you're an SEC-defined accredited investor, you can take advantage of Encore Energy's projects. Call now to learn how you can potentially achieve 20 or more years of income and deduct 100% of every dollar invested against all forms of income. Call 1-800-803-8511. Invest in your future and buy oil. Encore is drilling in an area that is potentially one of the most prolific horizontal oil plays in the entire country. Oil prices are projected to rise, so you need to own a piece of an oil field. Encore Energy is the most active oil and gas operator in its core area of operations. Call now and learn how to deduct 100% of your investment and create 20 or more years of potential monthly income. Call 1-800-803-8511. You will be calling directly to the home office of Encore Energy. That's 1-800-803-8511. Oil investments involve a high degree of risk and actual results may vary.
A vegetarian or vegan diet is generally considered healthier, but not always. Vicki Barker reports.
A study in the British Medical Journal says vegans and vegetarians do have a lower risk of heart disease, but a higher risk of stroke. The findings based on data for 48,000 people who self-reported for up to 18 years. Now, the researchers note that simply showing a correlation doesn't prove a cause, and diet experts say whatever your dietary choice, eating the widest range of foods possible is best for your health. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
The U.S. Navy generally considered to have the best food in the military, but that may have led to a more dubious honor. A Department of Defense study says the Navy is home of the fattest service members. According to the report, 22% of naval personnel could be considered obese, and the percentage is even higher among those over age 35. The Air Force second at an 18% obesity rate, followed by the Army at 17%, the Marines just 8.3%. Jim Chenovy, CBS News.
Did you know that the IRS is getting more aggressive these days? They're using private agencies to track you down and even started taking away passports. Don't wait. If you owe more than $10,000, take advantage of the Fresh Start Initiative, a program in place that can help you now. You can save thousands and possibly have your taxes forgiven. Join the thousands of taxpayers who made the call to get protection from IRS collections. Call the experts at Oxford Tax Partners now about the Fresh Start program. If you qualify, it'll stop the IRS collection agencies from coming after you. Let the IRS negotiation experts at Oxford Tax Partners get you protected once and for all. Call the hotline now at 800-575-1919. That's 800-575-1919. There's help for those of you who owe $10,000 or more, but it's important that you take action before these programs change. Call the tax experts at Oxford Tax Partners for a free consultation now at 800-575-1919. 800-575-1919. That's 800-575-1919.
Jake? Jake's my boy!
That's a real shame when folks be throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that.
Welcome to the Nation of Jake on The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com, streaming live on YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube channel. I almost forgot. I always forget it's YouTube. I don't know why. I mean, that's a place where you stream and watch things in year of our Lord 2019 is the YouTube. Anything you want for free on demand on YouTube, the Nation of Jake included. The channel is Nation of Jake. That's one word. Run it all together, Nation of Jake. I'm on Facebook as well. Been doing a lot less Facebook and more tweeting. Today's pointless Twitter discussion was about the band Pearl Jam. Yeah, my buddy Justin, he drew a pretty compelling parallel between the first three Pearl Jam albums and the first three Stone Temple Pilot albums. And of course, as it always does, it devolves into some crazy argument about what the best Pearl Jam record was. It's a toss-up between the first two, 10 and verses. And then some madman named Carey comes on and says Yield is the best Pearl Jam record, and that verses in 10 are among the worst. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not a serious take. That's Beto level bad. That is Beto O'Rourke level bad takes by you, Carey Hayes. Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll shout out your whole name. Go find him. He's 10 Carey on Twitter, or just follow Nation of Jake on Twitter and jump into that conversation. That's just the beauty of it. You know, you find some kind of conversation that's going on, and you just hop in and say whatever you want. Just drive by on the Twitter. That's what I do. I've got some bad news. Ron Hart is unable to join us today on the program. We usually talk to Ron Hart on Thursdays about his latest column. Well, he's unavailable because he's playing golf. So good news for him, bad news for us. But the silver lining is Ron will join us on tomorrow's program, so we can all look forward to that. So in Ron's place, I'll think of something. We'll find something to talk about as we do here in the Nation of Jake. And the News Cruise is coming up in a little bit. A great story in the News Cruise about a tweet from 10 years ago that has resurfaced that has people up in arms. And that tweet belongs to Memphis mayoral candidate Tammy Sawyer. She tweeted something that was real bad. And people are outraged, but that's the rules now, isn't it? Anything you've ever done or said in your past, no matter how long ago, in any context, is fair game. That's right. If you found tweets like this from Mayor Jim Strickland.
Mr. Strickland!
Oh, he'd have to answer for him too. So Tammy Sawyer will have to answer for this tweet from 2009. That's coming up in the News Cruise a little bit later. Today, as I was driving to the radio station, the great KWAM, The Voice, at FM 107.9 and AM 990, I pulled up to a stoplight at Poplar and Ridgeway. To my right was a Mattabus. Mattabus with nobody on it, as they often are, empty. The driver was fumbling around with what appeared to be a salad from maybe Wendy's. I don't know. He had a bottle of water, and he was fumbling around. I mean, listen, you can do that at a stoplight. I'm not mad at it. Plus, nobody's on the bus. Nobody's riding the MATA bus. It was like 9:30 a.m. Nobody on this bus. He's fumbling around. He and I are both doing the same thing. We're checking out the ladies who were walking across the street. Just noticing some female pedestrians. And I looked over and I gave him a nod. And I tried to get him to open the window so I could ask if anybody was on the bus, because I didn't see anybody on the bus. There could have been somebody maybe slumped over sleeping, but I'm pretty sure that bus was not filled to capacity. And we talked about it yesterday, about this proposal from Mayor Lee Harris of Shelby County that a sustainability fee be placed on anybody in the county who has more than 2 vehicles. If you have more than 2 vehicles, you'll be charged an additional $145 per vehicle. 17% of Shelby County residents have more than 2 vehicles registered, and therefore you could raise $10 million by essentially just taxing 17% of the people. So another tax. Mind you, there was a time where the wheel tax in Shelby County was temporary. Ha 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 ha! Temporary taxes don't happen. Taxes never go away. It's rare that the government says, oh, we've raised the requisite amount of funds from this tax. We will no longer charge it. It is rare. Go find, what's something really rare? A diamond? Or diamond's rare? Not as rare anymore. I'm trying to find like something that is really like rare. Raw steak, raw meat, which we're not allowed to eat coming up in the next 12 years. That said, it's almost never. Taxes don't go away. The government gets addicted to this revenue stream, and it can't go away because it's always spoken for. Okay, so as we outlined on the program yesterday, MATA is funded by $29 million from the city, $12 million from the federal government, $7.6 million from the state, and $6 million from bus fares. And they still claim to be $30 million underfunded. $30 million underfunded. So this would raise about $9 or $10 million. So you still got a $20 million shortfall. So I'm not sure exactly what this serves, only to get you closer to your goal of $30 million extra dollars. Now, when you read all these different accounts, I believe this one is from Fox 13. There are a lot of different reasons for this. You can talk about economic development. You have to have a solid public transit system. People want to throw all this numerical alchemy at you. See, I was talking to a guy earlier. He says, for every $1 invested in public transportation, you get $4 back in economic development. It's like, wait, what? What kind of magic is that? What kind of voodoo black magic is that? We take $1 out of the private economy from somebody who earned it, and we spend it, put it through our big government machine. Somehow, that translates into $4. It's like, wait a second. If that were true, MATA would not be underwater. Okay, because you've got $50 million or so in expenditures, in overhead, and you're only making $6 million from bus fares. Where's that other money coming from? Why isn't it $200 million? Seriously, by a factor of 400% for every dollar invested in public transportation, there's $4 in economic development. That is untrue. That sounds like some sort of talking point that would be put forward by somebody who's got a stake in expanding a public transportation system, doesn't it? It just sounds like, oh yeah, and people, without thinking critically about it, they just accept that number. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, John Zena said it. John Zena is like with some development board, and John Zena's a good guy. I went to college with John, and I like John. We're both Braves fans. I really like the guy. That said, oh yeah, this guy who holds a government job with some sort of planning commission, he says for every dollar we spend on MATA, it translates into $4 in economic development. So wait a minute. What comes first here? What comes first? Public transportation or economic development? I would venture to say, since the private sector funds the public sector, that with more sound economic development, then you have more places to go. You've got more tax money to draw from. Then you can build a good public transportation system. I don't think one feeds the other. I think that the private sector, 99% of the time, is going to feed the public sector. But they're saying the whole, no, if you build it, they will come. No, if we charge people a fee in order to get the public transit system up to snuff, to the snuff district, that's the district now. Apparently, if you build it, they will come. Then economic development will follow. Well, I view it the other way. I say, hey, why don't you offer up some nice tax incentives, a good workforce, educated workforce, and then you make sound economic development, and then you've got more places to go, and you've got more tax revenues. You see where I'm going? Then you can build your little public transportation system. That's the way it's actually supposed to work. But what they want to do it all backwards. They want to have the result before they earn the result. And honestly, this other line, this is what Mayor Lee Harris wants to do. He wants to make this about fighting poverty. Harris says a proposal would generate millions for MATA's crumbling infrastructure and fight poverty. Okay, so why not just do this then? If this is about fighting poverty, and if you want to help the poor, don't expand MATA. Don't expand it. Contract it. Contract it. Work within the $50 million you get from the city and the federal government and the state, and forget the bus fares for a second. Just make MATA free. If that's what you want to do, if you want to help people who don't have cars and can't get to work, don't go taking money from people who don't use the public transportation system. Just take the money you've got, build something you can work with, contract it, fewer buses, fewer routes that go actually to where people want to go and need to go, and make it free. Just make it a free service. I mean, if it's about helping those in poverty, I mean, that's really where I would go with it. And this let's not forget that this whole problem with public transportation in Memphis, it's not about buses. I mean, if you think about this right now, we've got MATA buses, too many, nobody rides them. We had exploding trolleys that we had to spend millions and millions of dollars either getting fixed or getting replaced. It's a mess. You know what it all comes down to? How the city's been run for 50 years. If you just still had Memphis between the parkways, well, let's just say, in a perfect world, yeah, Memphis just stayed right between the parkways and was a small city that built up and was densely populated, and everything you needed was between the parkways to the river. You'd have no problem with your trolleys or your buses or a train. You could do that. Yeah, and everybody would ride it, and it would be great. But you know what? Instead of making Memphis a place that people would actually want to go live for good schools, safe streets, and reasonable taxes, what'd they do? Chased everybody out to unincorporated Shelby County and then went out to go trap them. We're going to annex your neighborhood. We're annexing your neighborhood. Now we got a footprint that's as big or bigger than New York City or Dallas-Fort Worth, and we don't have the taxpayers and we don't have the revenue in order to accommodate all the city services, whether it's trash collection, whether it's policing it, or public transportation. And you can say, oh yeah, well, we're here now and you can't go back and change that. Well, isn't that really the whole Memphis 3.0 thing? Focusing on the core of the city and then building out from there? I would say don't expand MATA, contract it, focus on the core of the city. If public transportation is such an attractive thing for a city, for a potential citizen, for somebody who is considering, I was thinking about moving back into Memphis. Well, why? Well, the schools are garbage, taxes are high, and it's not safe. Well, they got a good public transportation system. Well, let's just say it was. Let's say it was something that was a magnet. Why not do it? Why not efficiently and effectively take the $50 million from the city and the state and the federal government and even the fairs and make a really tight, efficient public transportation system that goes just in the city of Memphis or just, the core of the city and attract people back in that way? Because you're telling me, public transportation's that's a big factor when attracting citizens and attracting development. You got to have it. Well, you know what? You can't have it. You can't have it because you've shown that you don't know how to run it. You're upside down. It's never been profitable. And by the way, when we talk about these numbers, $29 million from the city of Memphis, $12 million from the federal government, $7.6 million from the state, and $6 million from bus fares. How much revenue do they pull in on advertising? That's what I want to know. Because you know what is more valuable than riding the Mattabus and the fares that you could collect by shuttling people around town? It's all the real estate on the sides, in the back, and the front of that Mattabus. I know that some of them are wrapped. Not all of them are wrapped. There's no reason that John Morgan's fat face shouldn't be on every Mattabus in the city. Morgan. That guy should be everywhere. Or Corey Trotz or whoever. There's no reason that all those Mattabuses should not be wrapped or have signs on them. And I know that they do that. Not only on the buses or in the buses, but at the bus stops. They've got that. Do they just farm that out to some advertising firm for a small fee and then they go make the money? How is that being handled? And as somebody who's worked in advertising for a long time, I would like to know the answer to that because I know that's valuable real estate. I know that is, companies pay every year hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising. Where's that money going? It can't be cheap. So how is that not a factor? I mean, I would not be surprised, and this is just speculation on my part. I don't have any inside information, that some kind of advertising firm like the Carter Malone Group is in charge of that kind of stuff, and they go out and sell it. I mean, I don't know, but that's just, I'm speculating that there's got to be some sort of arrangement like that. Somebody has a contract on all that advertising. Well, that should go to the city or it should go to MATA. That's where it should go. Somebody should manage that. It hasn't been managed well. It's underwater. It's a total loser. It's a money pit. But only government would say, yeah, listen, this thing doesn't work. It's pretty awful. It loses money, but it's something we kind of have to do. So, hey, pay up. Oh, you don't use the bus? The bus doesn't even go out to where you live? Doesn't matter. Pay up because you've got more than 2 cars. And we know what's best for you. We are going to take your money because you got more than 2 cars. Well, I've got 3 cars, but 2 of them are 20 years old, and the other one I got is my kids. So what? You got more than 2. Well, how about the guy over there who's got 2 Range Rovers? He'd have to pay extra? Well, no, because he's only got 2. You have 3. So yeah, it's people want to simplify it and say, oh yeah, listen, if you can, you should. If you've got 3 cars, you can afford the $145. It's the principle of the matter. So why should we pay an extra $1 for something that you've proven does not work? Yeah, it's kind of like this. When MLGW needs more money for infrastructure, they say, hey, let's raise rates. But with MATA, they're not saying, hey, let's raise fares. I mean, this would be exactly like MLGW needing money, so Mayor Lee Harris says, you know what, we're going to tax anybody who has more than 1 AC unit or more than 1 water heater. How would you like that? Because that's the same thing. It's not fair. It's stupid. What needs to happen is these things need to be run more efficiently and more effectively first, and then we'll talk about raising prices. Essentially, it all comes down to this. If MATA provided a clean, safe ride to places that people actually want to go, then people would ride it, and you wouldn't have a problem. But they don't, and therefore, they're broke. And they're coming after you and take money out of your pocket. And they're not asking. They're not. And then we've got commissioners who are, we're going to wait and see what the public reaction is. That's what we have. Mark Billingsley, my commissioner, who I've not been impressed with, to be honest with you. He doesn't return my emails, and I'm a voter, He said he's curious to see how the public reacts to the proposal. How about this? Use your head, Mark Billingsley. Once you react to the proposal and see how it's a loser. And I voted for you to make these decisions. Oh, I need to go check with everybody to say, take the temperature. I know that's part of your job too. Well, I'm telling you what it is now. It sucks. I've had enough of this. We're going to talk about, I don't even know what we're going to talk about. You know what we're going to talk about is not only do the Democrats feel like they know a better way for you to live your life, judging by the 7-hour climate change debacle town hall that was on CNN. Oh, the Trump administration, he's weighing some some measures to see if you can buy a gun. A social credit system to determine whether or not you can buy a gun? That doesn't sound like a conservative position to me. Coming back with that next, Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Spotlight on Millington continues all this week. Here's Executive Director of Millington Chamber, Terry Rowland.
You know, the big thing about Millington is we've got so many things going on. We've got 6 subdivisions going in. We got a VA hospital coming. We got a new TIF we're working on with a new shopping center, a Marriott hotel, just all different kind of things coming. If you want to make money, Millington's the place to be. You know, we've got an airport out here that millions of dollars worth of work's being done to. We've got so much going on in Millington. If you want to make money, come to Millington.
Spotlight on Millington is brought to you by these great businesses.
Boatwright Pharmacy, serving the Millington community since 1957. A full-service modern pharmacy with an old-fashioned atmosphere. Homer Skelton Ford in Millington, making sure your buying experience is absolutely the best. Highway 51 North in Millington.
If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, stop. Don't do anything until you talk to my man, James Underwood. James Underwood has been helping people like you navigate the Mid-South real estate market for more than a decade. So whether you're looking to buy your first home or you want to upgrade to your forever home, James Underwood can help make it happen. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just a rock-solid guy that I've known for 25 years. So now, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, hit up James Underwood with CryLike. JamesUnderwood.crylike.com. That's JamesUnderwood.crylike.com.
The 30th Annual International Goat Days Family Festival is happening September 6th and 7th in Millington. Enjoy the Antique Tractor Show and Parade, KCBS Sanctioned Championship Barbecue Contest, Old West Special Trails Rodeo, Car Show, Arts and Crafts, live music, great food and fun, and much, much more, including goat yoga and our famous goat parades. Presented by the City of Millington in association with Homer Skelton Ford, Republic Services, Ritter Communications, Homer Skelton Chrysler Dodge Jeep of Millington, and Carrie's Body Shop. It's Goat Days, September 6th and 7th at USA Stadium in Millington.
You and your friends and associates are invited to attend the Mississippi Senior Expo and Health Fair, Thursday, September 19th from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Brown Missionary Baptist Church, located at 7200 Swinia Road in South Haven, Mississippi. There will be health exams, flu shots, entertainment, and this year, there'll be food trucks on site to allow you to enjoy lunch while you're there, and a demonstration on healthy living by the Silver Sneakers. The Mississippi Senior Expo and Health Fair is promoted by the DeSoto Times and the Best Times. Mark your calendar for September 19th. You'll be glad you did.
Since 1950, the Millington Area Chamber of Commerce has helped businesses grow and prosper. You're invited to join fellow business associates and help support the economic development of Millington and take advantage of the many benefits available to you through your membership, such as networking, ribbon cuttings, seminars, and workshops. Join the Millington Chamber today. It's good business. Visit millingtonchamber.com or call 901-872-1486 today.
Design Jewelers in Bartlett is renowned for being the best in custom jewelry since 1988. But did you know they also do jewelry repair? That's right. If you need size fixing, ring setting, stone tightening, chain or watch repair, stop by Design Jewelers at 3135 Kirby Whitten Parkway. Their combination of expertise and customer service cannot be found anywhere else. That's Design Jewelers in Bartlett, 3135 Kirby Whitten Parkway.
The special event florist for the Mid-South is Lynn Doyle Flowers. They are famous for creating incredible floral arrangements and are available to fill even your last-minute needs. From the simple to the magnificent, their staff can create unique arrangements for your special occasion. Flowers always bring a smile, make someone's day, and for fast, convenient delivery, call Lynn Doyle Flowers today at 901-323-4521 or visit their beautiful new location at 6225 Old Poplar Pike.
This is Andy Wise, your consumer investigator, and I belong to the Crescent Club. All my Wise choices gather at the Crescent Club for mixers and private dining. The gourmet menu, top shelf. And happy hour? Hey, if you've never had a cocktail 9 stories high on the patio soaking in the East Memphis skyline, then hear this. I won't entertain my clients anywhere else because I made the wise choice. I belong to the Crescent Club, 6075 Poplar Avenue on top of the Crescent Center.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990. Online, KWAMTheVoice.com. Streaming live on YouTube, Nation of Jake on YouTube. Also, Facebook and Twitter at Nation of Jake. And the podcast will be up shortly after the program concludes. We'll see. I don't know. We got another soccer game tonight. Got piano and soccer. So I'll be tied up. Again, as soon as I can get it online, I'll get it online. You'll get a notification. So subscribe to the Nation of Jake podcast. All right, so earlier we did a rundown of CNN's 7-hour climate town hall. No wonder the DNC did not want this to happen. They took a lot of heat, did the DNC, for balking on this. The DNC did not want all of their presidential candidates, 10 of them at least, getting up in front of everybody and saying the crazy stuff they said. They want to ban red meat. They want to take all the gas-powered vehicles off the road. They want to ban plastic straws. They want to allow abortion for population control. Just all this insane stuff that will creep in and encroach on your freedoms as not just an American, but as a human being. These are people who think they can live your life better than you can. They can make decisions that are better. And it all comes back to that Reagan quote that I gave you earlier. If no one among us has the ability to govern himself, then who among us has the ability to govern someone else? Think about that real quick. And you just go, oh yeah, Gipper was right. So, those are all things I do not like. I like to be free. I like to be unmolested in my home and my belongings, and in general, unmolested. Being molested is not on my list of things I want. I don't know anybody who likes being molested. That said, Trump administration, they might want to do some molesting. All right, not in the creepy Jeffrey Epstein kind of way, maybe even creepier. We have here, the Trump administration is considering a proposal that would use Google, Amazon, and Apple to collect data on users who exhibit characteristics of mental illness that could lead to violent behavior, according to the Washington Post. The proposal is a part of an initiative to create a Health Advanced Research Projects Agency, HARPA, which will be located inside the Health and Human Services Department, citing sources inside the administration. The new agency, HARPA, would have a separate budget, and the president would be responsible for appointing its director. HARPA would take after Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, which serves as the research arm for the Pentagon. The idea was first crafted in 2017, but has since gotten a renewed push after mass shootings that killed 31 people in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio in August. The Suzanne Wright Foundation approached the president recently and proposed the agency include a project called Stopping Aberrant Fatal Events by Helping Overcome Mental Extremes, or Safe Home. My God, they need to have just one department for naming stuff, an acronym department. They wanted this thing to be called Safe Home so badly that they came up with this goofy acronym, Stopping Aberrant Fatal Events by Helping Overcome Mental Extremes. That spells Safe Home. President Donald Trump has a close relationship with Bob Wright, who founded the foundation after his wife died of cancer. Wright was a former chair of NBC and occupied that position while the president hosted The Apprentice. HARPA would develop breakthrough technologies with high specificity and sensitivity for early diagnosis of neuropsychotic violence. A multimodality solution with real-time data analytics is needed to achieve such an accurate diagnosis. Pretty much, your Alexa or your Facebook, your Google searches, all that stuff would be analyzed by HARPA in order to compile data and determine whether or not you have any kind of psychotic issues that would prevent you from buying a gun. I don't like that at all. That's an overreach. Seems like something that would be a violation of privacy. I like to be secure in my papers. What is it, the Fourth Amendment? Oh, so that I would call that like my papers. You know, whether or not the paper has been written yet. There's also, you know, all kinds of HIPAA laws and whatnot. And also, is there a direct correlation between what Google or Amazon or Apple would, say, collect and how your story is written? It's kind of like this Philip K. Dick kind of Minority Report kind of precognition, pre-crime kind of deal. And that's a problem. It doesn't sound like something a Republican president would want. It doesn't sound like anything American should want. It sounds really Chinese. Chinese? In China, they got the social credit system. You know, if you're friends with somebody who smokes, you get dinged, you get a demerit on your social credit score. Just odd stuff. We went over this a couple of days ago, right here in the Nation of Jake. I don't want Google and Facebook and Amazon spying and analyzing what I search or what I say or what I write or what I do in order to then allow me to exercise my Second Amendment right. Listen, I'm not a big gun guy. I'm not big into guns. I have a gun. I don't shoot it often. I don't want to shoot at anyone ever. But if there was ever a situation, I feel like I'm well prepared for it. So I'm not one of these, pro-gun people who wants to open carry in a Kroger or a Walmart. I couldn't care less. I just like to seek safe places. That said, I don't want Google and Amazon spying on me to determine whether or not I'm allowed to have a gun. I haven't done anything to disqualify myself from having a gun. So yeah, that is not something that is very reassuring. And this goes to show, Republican or Democrat, these politicians, they got this ego. They got this God complex. They think they can solve all the problems. And we hear it from the left and the right. You hear from Donald Trump wants to work with this foundation because he's a buddy of his who founded it after his wife died, and they want to stop this violence, so they want to have Apple and Amazon and Facebook spy on you. That's not a good idea. It's a terrible idea. Just like on the left, you got all these Democrats. They want to take away your car and take away your meat and make sure that they decide, what you should eat. And then also population control, provide abortions to third world countries so little brown babies can't be born. That's sick. It's all sick stuff. Maximum freedom does not include any of those things. Coming up, we are going to set ourselves free aboard the news cruise, where we will get down with some of the latest headlines, and we'll do it next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
CBS News Update. Hurricane Dorian is heading toward North Carolina now, promising the full complement of wind, rain, and storm surge. Hurricane Center Director Ken Graham.
10 to 15, maybe even greater inches of rainfall, 6 to 10. Just a dangerous flash flooding situation for portions of South Carolina and North Carolina.
CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti is in Carolina Beach, North Carolina.
This rain is coming sideways. The deterioration of this weather happening very quickly, and we still have 20 more hours to go before this storm really makes its presence known. We're expecting gusts of up to 100 miles per hour. The storm surge, another big issue here, 4 to 7 feet, easy enough to clear some of these dunes and flood this area.
Some evacuation orders are being lifted in South Carolina. Governor Henry McMaster.
Well, there'll be limbs down, there'll be debris. Don't be surprised if there was water in your home. You might have animals, snakes, don't know what might be in there, so be very careful as you return. You may still be without power.
CBS News Update, I'm Jim Shenlevy.
Did you know that your potential customers look at your website and determine your credibility within 8 seconds? Make sure your business reflects the quality service you provide. Contact Control Alt Design for a free quote today. Today's marketplace is very competitive, and you need a professional web presence. Control Alt Design offers web design at a fraction of what the larger firms charge. Control Alt Design has been helping local businesses stand out on the web for over 20 years. They also offer logo design, business card design, flyers, brochures, and more. See their work today at ControlAltDesign.com.
Roland Tire and Automotive is proud to be part of the Millington family, and they're celebrating 54 years of service to Millington and the entire Shelby County area. Roland Tire was started by Clarence and Carol Roland and is still owned and operated by the Roland family today. They always offer fair prices and quality service. Roland Tire and Auto, 4998 Navy Road in Millington, where there's always a fresh pot of coffee, a kind word, and great service. Give them a call at 901-872-8473. Boatwright Pharmacy is proud to be a part of the Millington community, serving generations of families for over 60 years. Boatwright Pharmacy offers warm, friendly, and caring service to all their customers, just like the good old days. Don't miss their new Hallmark Gold Crown shop, where you'll find the perfect Hallmark card or unique gift. Locally owned and operated since 1957 and open 7 days a week and most holidays. Boatwright Pharmacy, 7899 Leroy Boatwright Street in Millington, and in Atoka on Wesley Reed Drive. When you're planning an event and need on-time delivery, call Odell Sanders. Sanders Catering has been in business for 31 years, specializing in breakfast, lunch, dinners, corporate, and social events. When you need a caterer to work with your budget, call Odell Sanders at 901-372-2631 or visit them online at sanderscatering.com and take a look at their menu. Sanders Catering, a leader in catering services. Call today at 901-372-2631.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com. The Listen Live link is in the top right corner. You can also watch the program on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, find Nation of Jake. That's the channel. Subscribe to that. And if you missed anything to this point, you can always get caught up in the Nation of Jake podcast. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, and wherever fine podcasts are heard. It's about that time. We hop on a boat. We take a leisurely look at the headlines on the news cruise, brought to you by Just Windows Home Services.
News. Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you, the news cruise, full of exciting news, the news cruise. So relax and kick off your shoes.
Welcome aboard the news cruise. Brought to you by Just Windows Home Services. Those guys are available to clean pretty much anything. They've cleaned a lot of stuff, not just windows. They do that. They do that best. They clean up off your roof and your gutters, and they do pressure washing. In fact, if you follow Just Windows Memphis on Instagram, they were called out to clean a ping pong table. Really nice one. It was caked with dirt and grime and mud. It was black. And they went out there, they cleaned it off, and now it shines and it is green. It looks new. And this thing ain't new. This thing is old school. But that's on their Instagram now. They've cleaned a lot of things over the years. I'm sure they've been out to pressure wash boats and other old relics. But ping pong table, or I should say the table tennis table, that was a new one for those guys. But if you want to see what they can do, check that out because it is shining. Makes a huge difference. They can do what they did for that ping pong table to your home, your windows. You don't think about it, but you go look at a house who's got nasty dirt and grime caked on the windows, and then that same house, after Just Windows comes out, you can notice the sparkle from the sidewalk. All right, so give them a call, 751-3934. That's 751-3934, and get 20% off when you tell them the Nation of Jake sent you to Just Windows Home Services, 751-3934, online, justwindowsmemphis.com. All right, first up here in the news cruise, you know this whole cancel culture we're in, when people dig up tweets from years ago, maybe even a decade ago. Well, the door swings both ways. You know, if Kevin Hart can't host the Oscars because he made a joke 10 years ago, then you all have to be held to account for everything you've ever said or tweeted. You find this every day. You dig up old tweets and people get in trouble. Well, it's happened here, and it's happening in the Battle Mayoral. That's right. Tammy Sawyer, one of the candidates for mayor of Memphis, the Shelby County Commissioner Tammy Sawyer, is apologizing for a 2009 tweet mocking a grieving pet owner. Tammy Sawyer, the politically progressive candidate for Memphis mayor, came under attack yesterday for an insensitive 10-year-old tweet mocking a grieving pet owner. The full unedited tweet. The lady whose dog got euthanized at the shelter made me laugh. I know it's mean, but she was crying and she just looked crazy. That's from @Tammy Sawyer on Twitter, December 14th, 2009. So, just about 10 years ago. That is awful. That is just wrong. That she would laugh at a pet owner who just had to have their dog euthanized. That is evil. That is not, and then also, not only do you laugh, she chose to share that with the world. She wanted people to go, ha ha, you're right. It's hilarious when people have to take their dogs to get euthanized. They're so crazy and funny, like when they're crying, when they can't deal with the emotion of losing their pet, who could be like a member of the family or an emotional support animal. Ha 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 ha! So funny. Under withering criticism from animal lovers, Sawyer, who is a Shelby County commissioner and activist, quickly apologized via her social media accounts for what she said. And she said it was a response to an internet meme. In 2009, it was an internet meme. So, look, Tammy Sawyer made a mistake. She made fun of a grieving pet owner who just put their dog down. But this is how it is. I mean, look, I would be willing to give Tammy Sawyer a pass if I didn't think she was the kind of person who would dig up tweets of her political opponents doing stuff that may have been a joke or maybe distasteful. Look, I'm not going to not vote for Tammy Sawyer because she tweeted this. I'm not going to not vote for Tammy Sawyer. I'm not going to vote for her because I don't live in the city of Memphis. But if I did, I still wouldn't vote for her. But it's not because she tweeted something about laughing at somebody getting their dog euthanized. But she did. She not only laughed at it, she wanted the world to know that she laughed about it. Oh, yeah, but people change. It was 10 years ago. Keep that in mind. Next time somebody drags out a 10-year-old tweet, think about it. Door swings both ways. We've got, oh man, this is an awful story. A father says his son was lured to his death through social media. Tell me more. The father of a popular and beloved former White Station football player is speaking out after his son was shot and killed outside a church in Fraser on Labor Day. The 18-year-old was found dead at a house owned by the church next door. He was a well-liked 18-year-old who played football at White Station High and graduated this year. His name, confirmed by his father, is Jack Lubell. John Lubell, his father, wanted the facts about what happened to his son to warn other potential victims. He said his son was lured to the spot through the social app Snapchat, used by many young people. Lubell said his son received a lot of messages from someone who may have posed as a female. So it looks like maybe this young man got catfished. The messages lured Jack to pick up the female to go out on a date. He had just gone out to eat with his cousin. He got to the location. He texted his cousin saying the house looked sketchy and abandoned. He told his cousin if he didn't contact him in 30 minutes to call the police. Oh, man, Jack. Come on, man. If you're in Fraser and you pull up to a shady location, you step on the gas and you get the hell out of there. First of all, you got to know where not to go in this city. You really got no business hooking up with anonymous people on Snapchat in the first place, no matter where they live. But man, going up to Fraser to do it, I hate that whole story. I really do. I wish that he had made a different decision there. And I'm with his father, John Lubell, on this. Be warned. The internet is an awful place where awful people lurk, and they are willing to do awful things. So don't meet girls on the internet. Don't fall for any catfishing scams. And sure as hell, don't go up to Fraser to an abandoned-looking house looking for love. Oh, that is all the wrong places. That's the wrong place that they were talking about in that song. Oh, South Haven, Mississippi is going to get 300 jobs created there as a new laboratory is set to open. Spectra Laboratories broke ground on a new 200,000 square foot lab on State Line Road on Thursday. Spectra Laboratories is part of Fresenius Medical Care, which provides kidney care products and services. Spectra employees will conduct testing and analysis for these products at the new facility. Governor Phil Bryant of Mississippi was there at the groundbreaking. North Mississippi, they're saying, is strengthening their foothold in this important medical sector for years to come. You got to wonder, why was that not opened in Shelby County? Why didn't Shelby County get the Spectra Laboratories? We're always in competition, and things like charging people more money in fleet vehicles, extra money for operating in Shelby County is not going to help. Oh, man, this one is from across the old river in Arkansas. Truman, Arkansas. Where's Truman, Arkansas? Do you know? We don't know. Earl's on the phone. He doesn't know. Oh, but this couple in Truman, Arkansas are accused of making pornos in public, and they're arguing that Arkansas's statutes regarding X-rated videos and their promotion on social media are unconstitutional. Yeah, let's send this all the way up to the SCOTUS. Leslie Session and Derek Calloway were arrested in July 2017 after they allegedly filmed numerous sex acts at a Jonesboro restaurant, in the parking lot of a home improvement store, and at a park and nature center. They promoted the videos on social media. On August 30th, the pair's attorney filed a motion asking that an Arkansas judge declare 3 state statutes unconstitutional. Those statutes include Arkansas Code 568-307, which covers the public display of hardcore sexual conduct in an open public place, and Arkansas Code 568-203, which covers the creation of X-rated films. So I guess you would have to have some sort of permit to create any kind of film, and also a special permit for X-rated films. I don't know how your home videos or your homemade porn gets rated. You have to send it to somebody to have it rated. I'll just rate it X or NC-17. We're not sure. I'm almost certain that it's not going to work out in the old porno maker's favor. Is it gross? Coming up, we got, this is fantastic. But we're going to have to get to it in a second. I don't have a whole lot of time right here on the cruise to get into it, but something you may have missed from last night's 7-hour climate change town hall. There was a time where something like this would have disqualified a presidential candidate if this happened on national TV, but it didn't. But it involves somebody's eyeball exploding. We'll talk about it next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
When's the last time you looked at the windows in your house? Not through the windows, but at the windows. Really looked at them. There's dirt, streaks, buildup, smudges, fingerprints, paw prints, spider webs, dead bugs, those little white speckles. I have no idea what they are, and who knows what else. Now, cleaning all the windows in your house makes a big difference, but it's also a big job. That's why you need Just Windows Home Services. Just Windows has been taking the pain out of window cleaning since 1992. Just Windows cleans all types of windows: storm windows, screens, skylights, interior, exterior, upstairs and down. Now, I know I told you the company is called Just Windows Home Services, but they do a lot more. Roof and gutter cleaning, pressure washing, mirrors, blinds, ceiling fans, light fixtures, chandeliers. Look, if you've got hard to reach areas of the house, then you need Just Windows Home Services. Call for a free estimate, 751-3934. That's 751-3934, or get them online at justwindowsmemphis.com. That's justwindowsmemphis.com.
I'm Ed Parami, the owner of JanPro, the franchise that helps you be your own boss. JanPro is now the fastest growing franchise in the entire world for the second year in a row by Entrepreneur Magazine. We are growing so fast we need new business owners right here in Memphis right now. So if you want to be your own boss and open your own business, call JanPro at 901-683-4900 to see just how easy it is to be your own boss. For as little as $950 down, you can be a part of JanPro. Don't waste another minute. Call 901-683-4900.
For baby boomers, here's something to think about. Will you have enough income during your retirement? Are you absolutely sure? Do you understand the difference between growth and income? How about bonds and bond funds? Are you 100% ready for RMDs? Do you have an estate plan? If you've said no to any of these, we can help. Right now, log on to theretirementincomeDoctor.com and tune in our brand new radio show right here, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m.
Looking for a cool way to get a new home comfort system without breaking the bank? The Advantage program from Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning gets you a high-quality home comfort system for one low monthly rate. There's no money down, never a charge for repairs, and seasonal tune-ups are free. Right now, get a new home comfort system as low as $99 a month and no additional charges ever. Call Service Experts Heating and Air Conditioning today at 866-EXPERTS or visit ServiceExpertsMemphis.com.
For expert service guaranteed, call 866-EXPERTS.
See website for license details.
It's Shaq from Homer Skelton Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Millington.
Huge deals going on for Labor Day, and come see us, get a great deal. We've got Jeep Wranglers, $7,500 off. Ram 2,500 and 3,500 trucks, $11,000 off.
Wow.
For you working guys, we are a business link dealer. Bring your vehicle into service. You're not going to be down. We're going to give you something equivalent to what you have so you can get right back on the job site. Find us in Millington at Highway 51 and 385, or find us at HomerSkeltonCDJ.com. Just a bunch of normal guys in the car business, changing lives 4 tires at a time.
This is Andy Wise, your consumer investigator, and I belong to the Crescent Club. All my wise choices gather at the Crescent Club for mixers and private dining. The gourmet menu, top shelf. And happy hour? Hey, if you've never had a cocktail 9 stories high on the patio soaking in the East Memphis skyline, then hear this. I won't entertain my clients anywhere else because I made the wise choice. I belong to the Crescent Club, 6075 Poplar Avenue on top of the Crescent Center.
Did you know that your potential customers look at your website and determine your credibility within 8 seconds? Make sure your business reflects the quality service you provide. Contact Control Alt Design for a free quote today. Today's marketplace is very competitive and you need a professional web presence. Control Alt Design offers web design at a fraction of what the larger firms charge. Control Alt Design has been helping local businesses stand out on the web for over 20 years. They also offer logo design, business card design, flyers, brochures, and more. See their work today at ControlAltDesign.com. All
right.
Yes, have some.
You're less than 10 minutes away from the Earl Farrell for Memphis show here on KWAM The Voice and KWAMTheVoice.com, FM 107.9 and AM 990. Finishing up the Nation of Jake here. I was going to tell you about Joe Biden's exploding eyeball last night in the 7-hour climate change town hall on CNN. It appeared that Joe Biden's eyeball filled with blood, and that sounds a lot more brutal than it is. A blood vessel popped in his eye. But there's been a lot of questions about Joe Biden's health. He had a couple of brain aneurysms. I mean, it happened right there on TV. I've never seen it. I've seen people with popped blood vessels in their eyes, but I've never seen it happen right then. I mean, if you think about all the stuff that politicians and what happens to politicians these days, and to think that it wasn't so long ago where Howard Dean was done in by getting excited. Remember when Howard Dean was like, we're going to Oklahoma, and yeah! And he was done. Yeah. And now people's eyeballs are exploding on TV, and Donald Trump is extending the cone of uncertainty with Sharpies. It's oh yeah, politics has changed a lot in the last decade. We're going to talk less about that, and maybe in the show on kind of a sad note here, the Rendezvous restaurateur, the great Nick Vergos, has lost his battle with cancer. He has passed away. This guy was everything Memphis. He was all about Memphis.
Yep.
I mean, ran the Rendezvous for years. His dad, Charlie Vergos, founded the Rendezvous. And as a former restaurateur, you knew Nick.
I knew Nick. He's one of the first people I met when I moved here from Dallas in 1978. And Rendezvous was one of the first places I went to eat and met him that first trip. And we were friends ever since then. I did a video biography for his dad while he was still alive. In fact, there's a producer out of Little Rock that's going to have a documentary on the Vergos family and the restaurants coming out sometime in October.
I mean, and this is from a different time. I mean, Nick Vergos grew up in that restaurant.
Absolutely.
He grew up there, and he wasn't like some guy who was only Rendezvous. He would take people around to other barbecue places. He wanted everybody to succeed. He wanted Memphis to succeed.
So did his dad.
Yep.
And Charlie was one that hired, he's on the board of the Orpheum where they tried to bring him back. He hired Pat Howler, and he said, don't screw this thing up.
Yeah, important family here in Memphis, and it's a very sad.
Yep.
But this guy, he lived the life he wanted to, and he was able to do some great things here in the city. So, our thoughts with the family and the friends and the folks at the Rendezvous.
God bless Nick.
God bless Nick Vergos and the Rendezvous. Have some ribs in honor of the great Nick Vergos. All right, Earl's up next. I'll be back tomorrow at 1. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
KWAM. your news and information station with CBS News updates every hour on the hour. KWAM Memphis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
I'm Jim Shenevy. Been a rough day weather-wise along the Carolina coast as Hurricane Dorian, with 110-mile-per-hour sustained winds, has been battering the coast. North Carolina bracing for the worst of it now through much of Friday.